We are live. This is Expedition to Castle Ravenloft, episode in the 13th Age, episode 19, and we are back tonight. Our players this evening are Aaron, John, who's coming back to us for the first time in a while, and with a camera, no us, and Matt, who joined us last session. Last session, we had done this thing where we did a kind of montage of the story today, inserting Matt into the backstory a little bit, where he was coming in as a just a little bit too late to catch up with the party and deliver a item or message for them. And so we're picking up tonight in the middle of the swamp, and Matthew catches up to everybody. Actually, Matt, your character's name is Grinhammer. Did I get that right?
Vendelm Grinhammer, yes.
All right. And you catch up to everybody in the swamp. How is it that you're catching up to them in the swamp? I think you guys had a raft or something that you were getting around on?
Yeah.
So, how is it that you made your way through the swamp, Vendelm?
On the back of a tamed boar.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember the boar now.
I totally forgot about that.
We killed that boar. But some time lapsed. As things happen.
You killed the mama boar and you took one of the kids and
raised it. Age potion. I don't know.
Is this the same boar that we fought?
Shh. Anyway, that's right. You are also playing a ranger.
Yeah.
Seriously, did you take one of the baby boars? Because you've got Dog. I'm sure Dog had a thing or two to bark about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to need a riding animal if I'm going to go out in the swamp. Could be a big lizard. What is a setting-specific riding animal that is swamp-safe?
I don't think that there is one. That's where you have to be particularly awesome. Well, maybe if there were rats of unusual size, you could ride one.
Yeah, that's true.
I've stabbed those up before they exist.
All right. So, finding some means of suitable conveyance, Vendelm catches up with the rest of you. I'm going to say just before you guys reach the temple, so that you're not having your exchange within earshot of boss encounter.
Yes. The boss waits politely for us to finish.
You sure about that? Anyway, what is it that you are delivering? Did you figure it out?
It is a scroll case. And
what is in the scroll case? What is written on the thing in the scroll case? Let me stop you there.
The thing that you emailed me about 2 weeks ago.
That's really specific.
It is.
It's a little meta.
It is. It's to adventurers@swamp.com.
And you open it up, and there's just some soundtrack music from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
No, it's original.
Man of constant sorrow.
I have this very important message for you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
Yeah, but you got to do it in the accent if you're going to do that, because I think we established that pretty much everything that you do and say is going to be in a bad Arnold accent, and it's going to be like cheesy 80 movies one-liners.
Yeah. You've been rickrolled.
Are you looking for that email?
So, hold on. Do you want to remind me what the email said? Because I'm having problems pulling it up.
Okay, I've got it. I'm just going to re-forward it to you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we should have covered this real quick before we came on. Just to save time. Boom. You should have it very shortly. Actually, because it's Gmail, you should have it instantaneously. So I don't think that we actually discussed what it was that you were bringing, but we discussed what else had happened to you between coming to Barovia and before you caught up with them. And so I gave you some information about an area that you wandered into and dealt with that they had not. And so you actually have information from another part of Barovia that you can use to help bring the party up to speed.
I have a question.
Sure.
Did he ever meet Madame Eva?
No, I don't think that he did. I think he skipped right past that.
So what I'm hearing is he is not included in the deal of never come back.
Yes.
Okay.
This is actually something that we didn't actually get a chance to cover in the what do you call it? In the montage and bringing Matt up to date, is that right. John had pretty much been the one that had to tell the party, said she doesn't want you guys coming around anymore. So you guys are pretty much kicked out of the Vistani camp despite what you've done for the region as a whole. You've used up any goodwill that you had there.
Okay.
Really being kicked out of the Vistani camp is probably the least we deserve.
All right. So just to get this moving, because I don't read anything in there about the thing that you were supposed to be delivering, if you don't have an idea of what you'd like that to be now, then I think that we're just going to include you with the party without explanations, and we'll move ahead with the encounter, and then we'll work that other information that I sent you back in at a later time.
Well, it could be just a note stating that Shervanog, am I pronouncing that even remotely correctly?
Search me.
Shervanog? Sure. That's what I'll call him. Yeah.
Shervanog?
Has been
It doesn't matter if you pronounce it correctly. Do it in the accent.
And his goal is to consolidate resources of the valley and turn them against Strahd. We will make a stand against Strahd.
And when he's referencing Shervanog, are you telling them who that is? Because I don't know if his name actually came up, or if you remember his name from previous. Aaron or John?
It came up in my time with the...
I have not heard that.
Or are you asking them if they've heard the name?
I was asking them briefly just to give them a chance to jump in, but John apparently's got company for a second, and he'll be back. And Aaron...
We've heard the name. I don't think...
I'm back. Sorry.
I don't think we've heard a lot in terms of the name, but I think we've heard enough to associate it with the god that basically eviscerated half of us on the hill.
Oh. Yeah,
that's the one.
Sorry.
That's
and
the one.
Rod, I'll be back.
All right, so basically, I guess the ranger is acting as Shervanog's emissary of a sort to invite you guys to join his budding army against Strahd. Or was
sounds
there
like, that sounds like a fantastically bad plan.
Is he joining our army, or are we joining his army? Because I know one is clearly superior to the other.
Matt?
Our army of 5.
Matt?
No,
Inquisitor.
he
That's
definitely wants you to join his army.
I don't think that we
Look,
heard what you said, Matt.
He wants us to join his army.
Mm.
Yes.
let me think about this for a minute. No.
Can me and Ragnar high five?
Yes, we can.
Alright. How about this? How about we join forces and we worry about who gives the orders later? When it becomes clear who gives superior orders.
I'm not sure that's really going to work, considering that he literally gutted 2 of us.
He didn't know we were part of his army at that time.
That still means he can kind of gut us anytime he wants. You may think I'm hung up over a small point, but it wasn't your guts that were hanging out. So, I have a vested interest in not wanting to repeat the process.
And it was more than just guts his claws raked through, too, if you recall.
Yes.
He dredged up your greatest shame.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He never hit me though.
I want to put a sword through his head. That's not conducive to joining forces.
All right. So, Matt, did you want to carry that conversation any further at this time, or are you going to let that percolate and come back with some more later?
So, what are you doing now? What's more important than fighting Strahd?
Well, we're kind of working against Strahd in our own way. We just don't want to join a giant demon creature who tried to kill half of us to do it.
I mean, isn't the demon creature dead anyway?
No, it
Trevor?
walked off
No.
in the woods.
No, he walked off.
But didn't it fight at the castle? Like, I'm just wondering.
It did, but we don't know what happened. We just know that there was some fireworks, more or
I do.
less.
Right. I guess they could have had a draw. Seems like one of them might have died.
Well, Vendelm just said that he knows.
Strahd drove him back. That's why he'll be back. But this time, with an army.
What are the motivations of your liege lord?
Question. Can I
Answer.
swear in this game? Are we trying to keep the videos kid friendly?
No, we're not trying to keep it kids friendly.
I fucking hate Strahd.
All right. I mean, ditto.
So
The
yeah,
enemy is my enemy.
we don't necessarily like Strahd, but Chernobog, not really our buddy either. So we're doing what we can to cut off Strahd from some of his power. Let's put it that way.
I say very quietly, I agree with you, but I hold up the scroll case that I delivered the message in and go, the demon is very powerful, and I respect him greatly. And then I cover the scroll case.
So it sounds like we're at a point where there has to be some significant inducement if you're going to win these guys over.
I have one more question for him. What exactly is your relationship to Chervenod?
I hate Strahd. He said
Alright, so Chervenod's
he
more
wants
like
to gather
Strahd.
soldiers to fight Strahd. I said yes.
Alright. Can me and Ragnar confer in secret for a second? Back off and do a team huddle. And I guess Heinrich would be there too.
Yeah. See, the problem here is joining up with the demon is going to piss off the Inquisitor and everybody else, I think. The people who don't like demons, they're not going to really want to work with the demon. Call me crazy.
Right. That does kind of
It's a significant obstacle.
Heinrich. How about this? How about we sell it to him as first of all, keeping someone nearby who, frankly, doesn't seem all that bright, and we can get the information out of him and maybe even convert him to the side of not demon.
Well, he said that he went with Chernivog because, one, he hates Strahd, and two, because Chernivog is really powerful. What if, with this guy's help, we could, kill Chernivog
Right.
and go from there?
It's like that saying, keep your enemy closer. We can sell it that way.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, so you string him along. Well, we'll tell him. All right, we'll join up eventually, but stay with us until we make the decision. Help us out. You can see what we're all about and something like that.
All right.
I guess.
What's your character's name, Matt? I'm sorry.
Vendelm.
Vendom?
Vendelm.
Vendel?
Just call him Van
Let
Dam.
me unpack Vendelm. Vendelm.
All right.
I think we should mangle his name every time we say it. Make it a running gag.
Of course, he's gonna
Right.
say it. Vendelm.
You can tag along with us for a while, and you can help us out. The more the merrier. We're trying to cut down Strahd in any way we can. So, if that's your motivation, then we're all right with that. As long as you won't try to tie us in with your demon friend. Keep that to yourself.
I don't give a shit about him.
Because we've got some friends who are very anti-demon.
That's fine. How are you opposing Strahd?
With our hearts and minds.
That sounds very lovely. But
Ragnar, how are we approaching that right now? I don't actually. There's a what is it called? The Shroud of the Mountain or the Mountain of the?
The Fanes.
The Fane, yeah.
All right, we're looking for. There is a great tool in this swamp that could be an instrument of Strahd's downfall. I don't want to tell him about the Fanes yet.
No. Well, I kind of hinted at it that we're trying to cut off Strahd's power earlier, so we can go that far to say that we're working to limit the powers that Strahd can call upon.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me.
you are fighting Strahd, I'll lend you my bow.
All right.
And then I'll sit here and watch you try and learn how to use it. Alright, so I think we've hit a point here where you guys at least have hammered out something of a basis for a working relationship for a little while. So
Yep.
we will... Oh, well, that's going to... Ooh, actually, that's not too bad. How does this look?
Good. No,
Alright.
saying that, I'm probably a little dark right now. I'm going to turn the light on.
Oh, but
Yeah.
that looks scruffy and awful, so I'm just going to turn that back on. Move the light a little bit. Alright, so now that you kind of have this tenuous working relationship, and you know pretty much how much you are willing to or not to say to this guy about what you're doing, you've got the approach to the Fane. So the Fane in the swamp, remember each of the Fanes is reputedly guarded by a sister. They were all priestesses and sisters, and when Strahd bound himself to the land through the Fanes, he not only corrupted the Fane and the Guardians that are there. So the Guardians were transformed into these horrible hags, of which you believe Madame Ava to be one, and you think that you killed another with Baba Zelena up on Lasaga Hill. So this would be the third one, if you're right. And this one is the first one that you've noticed that has an actual temple, but the temple has been dragged down into the swamp. It's fallen to pieces, literally, where pretty much the only thing that's still standing is the front steps, which are skewed and cracked and all falling to pieces, and the arch that would have led into the main temple area. And everything else are these huge blocks of hewn stone worn down by uncountable seasons of weather and that have fallen into the swamp, making very uneven and treacherous footing throughout the entire area. And inside the temple area, you have this large hulking figure with greenish skin that's kind of wading around and trying to grab fish out of the water for its meal. And just this horrible skin condition. It's like her skin is waterlogged and drooping, so her face looks a little bit like melted wax in that way. And the long, stringy hair and horrible long claws and rotting black teeth, and just a horrible, horrible, frightful thing. It's like you're squinting so that you don't really look straight at her because she's just so horrifically ugly that your stomach heaves every time that you try and bring her countenance into clear sight. What would you like to do?
Where is she standing in relation to the temple?
She would be inside of it, amongst the treacherous footing. She's kind of fishing by hand.
I mean, it's pretty gross, so it's probably even.
I think I can't remember if we talked about whether we were gonna attempt a negotiation or less or non-violent discussion, or if we were just gonna go straight in there and kill the crap out of her.
I do feel kind of bad killing it, since apparently it wasn't really that way to begin with.
I know, but at the same time, they're kind of the embodiment of the Fanes that are powering Strahd. And we can't really allow that, because that just means we're probably going to get killed later.
Now,
Tell you what,
Well, the last one couldn't leave it. Oh, sorry.
you talk to her, we will keep her in sight.
Who talks to her?
You.
You're the talky one.
Yeah.
You've pissed... Well, no, I can't really say that. I can't say that you pissed off fewer people than the rest of us, because that's not really true.
well, it was going to be you or Heinrich, and Heinrich's not here today, so.
Alright. Well, here's my plan. The last one couldn't leave its circle, and I'm wondering if this one has a sort of invisible fence around it too. I guess we could call out to it. But do you guys want to hide first?
Okay.
Let's see if we can get someplace out of sight. It might not necessarily make us unnoticed, but it might make the discussion go easier.
Alright. So when I yell out to this tail thing with stringy hair, if it comes at me, I'll put on a magic ring and become invisible. Because I actually have one of those. Seems like a good plan, something tells me.
They haven't taken that one away from you yet?
No, you haven't. As far as I remember, maybe you did. Did you?
No, I'm teasing.
Okay. So, where do you guys want to specify where you're hiding before you make contact?
I'm sure that there are some bushes that are next to some old stone walls or something like that. I'll just hide behind right over there.
Between undergrowth and trees in various states, uh, half hiding in the water or the fallen stones. There's plenty of opportunities to hide or find cover or just at least break up a direct charge if she was capable of such a thing. All right.
All right.
So I know that that Ragnar is going to find some cover. How about Vendelm? You going to do that too, or are you looking for a clue?
I take the dog, and we go hide.
All right. So Kenthis takes notes of your position, and then does what?
Well, ahoy there. Let's see how she reacts to that.
And she caught her biting the head off of something white and wriggly and about as thick around as your leg, and she goes, and she just looks at you warily.
All right. Can you speak?
And she puzzles at your speech for a moment, and then she flashes what must have been in her heyday her most winning smile.
All right. So you understand me?
And she drops what she's eating, and she stands up to her full height of nearly 10 feet tall. And she makes this noise as though she's trying to remember how to speak. And the best that you can make out, she says something like, "Seat."
All right. Can I sit sort of directly outside the temple, but not really in it, so I can see?
Are you looking for a place to sit? Is that what you said?
Yeah. She said seat.
Yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of terrain there that can serve a function like that.
All right. I'll find a comfy rock. And
All right. And she starts stalking close to you with a hand out, kind of like this. And she makes soft noises as though she's trying to be comforting as she approaches you.
so I bet you don't get
I
too
think
many
she's
visitors
going
there.
to eat your friend. Oh, sorry.
So, if she tries to eat him, we should kind of go in there and attack. Just, a heads up.
All right. So I'm gonna keep talking, see what she does. So that you don't get too many visitors out here.
Well, every time you speak, she freezes for a moment until she realizes that you're not actually going anywhere, or she decides that what the noise you're making isn't threatening, and she continues to stalk closer, and she purses her lips like she's trying to make that W sound. Sweet.
All right. Do I have any food on me?
Yeah, you would have some rations at least. Mostly
Right.
dried foods.
Can I toss her some dried beef? Like a, hey, I got something for you. Reach in my pack and then, whoop.
All right. So you toss the beef at her, and she flinches back for a moment, but once it plops in the water, her claw snatches out and lifts it up, and she sniffs it, and she takes a taste, and there's something about it that's not to her liking, because she spits it out and tosses it in a little further in, and then you see the flashing of all these white wormy bodies coming to the top, and the meat disappears.
Oh, well. uh, So I'm struggling to visualize the temple. How many entrances are there to it?
Every wall has pretty much fallen down where it is,
Okay.
so it's in worse repair than the ruins of the place on top of the Saga Hill, where all the interior structures were pretty much fallen down, but you still had what was recognizably walls. Here, you could see bits and pieces of the foundation, but the walls are almost entirely destroyed, having been torn down and fallen into the water.
All right.
Or sunken into the mud, or any combination of that.
What's your name? That's my next question.
Well, now you are within arm's length.
Oh. Uh,
Would you like to roll for initiative? You don't have to. It's completely not arbitrary.
That's not.
Voluntary. It's completely voluntary.
if I roll, does that mean that she knows I'm getting ready for something?
No, it just means that when something happens, you have a place in the order.
All right, I will do that. Um,
Everybody else is welcome to roll as well.
Might as well.
okay, I got 22.
Mine is... What the hell is mine? Mine is good. How good? 26.
Wow, that's very good.
Yeah. I hope that's not my only good roll tonight.
How about Vendelm?
Grabbing my d20. Alright.
Change focus here.
16.
You call yourself a ranger. All right,
Hey!
Ragnar.
Dice are just being dice.
You know by the posture and movements of the monster that this kind of looks like she's stalking timid prey, like she's trying to come up to a rabbit to pet it or eat it.
Mm-hmm. Try not to spook it.
Yeah, and actually this should be fairly obvious to the ranger as well, so Vendelm, you would also be privy to this. However, up until this very moment, nobody's spoken up to warn him because he wasn't in arm's reach yet. But he's coming perilously close, and he doesn't seem to have gotten the hint.
I can flee pretty easily. I have Dragon's Leap and the Ring. Just in case that factors into your decision whether or not to yell.
Well, yeah, if I'm going first, then the first thing I'm doing is I'm yelling, "Get back!" And then I'm going to leap up and charge.
Okay. So
wait, is that happening right now? Or do I have a chance to say one more thing?
he beats everybody on initiative. He pretty much gets to choose how this goes now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's going down hard. Because, alright, yeah, that pretty much, I think it has to go that way. Because we're not going to let him chomp down on you and then attack. I think we have to go with this.
I don't think you know about self-defense laws here in Ravenloft. They're very strict.
I'm not sure that I would care. Have you seen? You've been there for some of the things we have done, right?
Is this an open carry swamp?
Yes, there's not much of a canopy. It's one of those you're in pretty much one of those dead swamps where it's a drowned forest, and a lot of the taller trees are those that were meant for a drier climate, and they're just rotting out above the water.
Okay.
Perhaps a sign of corruption.
So the first thing I do is, as a free action, I cast Cherub's Burning Blade. So now I do And now my sword is engulfed in white flames,
Mm-hmm.
white and blue flames, and then I'm actually going to power attack. I do have power attack, yes. I assume the escalation die is 0. Correct. Okay. So this is going to be 28 versus AC.
All right. That's a hit.
All right. That's a natural even hit. So I will use deadly assault, which means I get to reroll any 1s and 2s.
Okay.
At least if I stop dropping my dice. That's 17.
If only you had some sweet rations, John. If only.
No.
735. That's going to be 51 damage. Oh wait, and plus power attack.
Out of nowhere. You just-
And you complain about how much damage the monsters deal out initially.
How much I do for power attack? And I forgot to write it down. I do another 66.
Another 66?
Yes. It's
Oh,
1d6.
6d6.
6, yeah. That's okay. 6. Actually, no, that's a pretty good roll.
Are they also subject to the rerolls?
No, these are not. It would be kind of broken if they were. But that's another 12, 24. So that's in total 75 damage. Fire and holy.
All right. So the fire damage. So you lash out with your weapon, which is both, I assume, glowing.
Yes. Well, it's
But-
on fire, so.
Yeah. So the all right. So you hit her and you tear into that horrible skin, and there's a sizzling noise as all the water in her skin just kind of boils out in a little rush of steam, and she screams and draws back as the unexpected blade bites deep on her arm. And then around her and throughout the entire swamp, the water starts roiling with these white, grubby things that she was hunting for her fruit earlier. And they start crawling up onto land with these mouths that just kind of open up, and the hooks come out, and they bite out and try and latch on. It's kind of like those little close-ups that you see of worms that have those hook mouths, or those little metal things that you use to reach into higher corners and pick up small stuff, where you push in and it's got the 4 things that come out and then they suck back in again to grab hold. It's kind of how these work. And there's one for each of you out of the multitudes that come up. So we're going to start with Raghnar, and that's going to be 19 against armor class.
That'll miss.
All right, and for Kenthis, that's 25.
Definitely, yeah.
And for Vendelm, that's 22 against your armor class.
I believe that's a hit. I'm looking it up.
It probably is. For those of you that are hit, you take 18 damage,
Okay.
and it attaches to you.
Okay.
It attaches to you and starts gnawing at you through whatever it bit you through. Kenthis,
Yes.
your action, sir.
Well, if we're gonna destroyer, we might as well destroy her really well. So, let's see. I've got. I'm up close to stealth this, so there's no
You could cast it against
opportunity. Yeah.
someone you're engaged with anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, I can. Okay. I'm gonna do Scorching Ray on her for its versus physical defense.
Mm-hmm.
17. Well. All right, that's 27.
That's a hit.
All right, and then it deals 66. Comes out to if you attack my attack was 17. All right, so it's not even, but he takes okay 28 damage, and then she'll continue to take 3d6.
How much?
3d6.
I'm sorry, you came through a little mumbling there.
3d6 ongoing fire damage.
3d6 ongoing fire damage.
But it takes 28 right now.
All right. $28, 197. All right. She goes. So far, this fighter has sprung up out of nowhere, hit her with a flaming sword. You stumble backwards, scrabble backwards, and let loose with a scorching ray or multiple rays. I forget how the spell manifests.
I think just one.
Burning her with laser holes in her chest. And all you see are these little trails of steam and foul-smelling smoke from the wounds.
Let's come to this.
And she powers through the water towards you guys like she's walking through nothing. And she reaches out and rakes you with her long claws, one at each of you. And...
Isn't Matthew further back?
Huh?
Is Matthew next to her?
No, he's after her.
No, I mean, is he, like, adjacent to her? I thought he was...
No, because he's primarily a bow user, and when he took up position, I assumed it was where he had a clear shot. He hasn't had a chance to actually move to get in.
So he's not getting hit by the claws?
No.
Okay.
No, she's only going against the two of you.
Gotcha.
Raghnar, high or low?
Hi.
You got the crit then. 70 points of damage.
Ooh.
And the low is only going to be a 16 against armor class against Kenthis.
Miss.
Say thank you, Raghnar.
Thank you, Ragnar. That probably would have been the end of Kenthis right there.
Probably wouldn't have killed you, but
I would have had 2 health left.
I'm staggered.
Alright, and then she takes her damage at the end of the round, if I recall.
Yes.
She takes 6 points of fire damage. And saves. Barely. She rolled an 11. So she's no longer on fire.
Okay.
And then, top of the... no. Vendelm. Chaos erupts ahead of you as Raghnar jumps in to save Kenthis from his inability to recognize death stalking him, and pays a terrible price with a gaping wound. How do you respond?
Okay, free action. Lethal Hunter. She is my target.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my action, I cast Chaos Pulse.
Chaos Pulse.
Chaos Pulse.
Oh, I have it too.
Oh, alright. So you've got a little cross-class action there with the sorcerer then.
I do have, yep,
Okay.
cross-class action.
Oh, that's right. You've got that
Kinda
arcane
rolled-
background of the finest magic warriors. Got it.
Yes.
All right.
So, I did an 18 against PD.
Physical defense?
Yep.
Not enough.
Okay, but it still does damage on a miss. So let me
awesome.
go ahead. Even miss is half damage. The odd miss is damage equal to my level. So it's damage. It's only 6 points of damage.
Alright.
And then my dog gets to go.
Well, before
And-
your dog goes,
Oh, okay.
you should notice that the worm-like thing that attached itself to you started to drink your blood. And at the end of the round, you take 18 more damage at the end of your round.
Okay. My dog goes after me, and I was going to have the dog bite the worm. So
Okay.
should I hold off on taking that damage until I see what happens with the worm? Take that damage, then...
I haven't reread how the companion works. I was going to treat it as a separate character that always goes immediately after yours. But if you want...
It's generally considered to be part of his turn.
Okay, then
because
fine.
it can't act independently.
So it uses his action, essentially, or something like that?
More or less, yeah.
Okay, then never mind. You can attack it first if you wish.
Okay. 22 versus AC
On the worm?
on the worm.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and that will do 66. So let's hope that kills the worm. $26.
26?
Yep.
Alright. So the dog savages the worm, and the worm falls limp and stops drinking your blood, but it remains attached to your body.
Freaking gross. Okay.
Alright. Anything else?
No, that takes care of my action.
Raghnar. Holding in your guts. What's going on?
Not quite holding in my guts, but
Okay.
not feeling too. Anyway, I think I kind of have to rally. Yeah, I'm gonna rally, and I've got strong recovery, so hopefully that'll help. Did I take the feet for it? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, that's pretty good. 19, 27, 32, 40, 49. Alright, so I heal 49, which brings me, I'm no longer staggered. Though, what do I math? I can't math. Alright, so I'm at 84 hit points.
Alright. You do regain your health, but you have this sucking feeling that comes from the ground that you're standing on or the water that you're standing in. And you see this slight effervescence around the water that she's standing in, and her wounds begin to close up.
Okay. Let's see if there's anything else I can do. I don't think so. Because, no, I can't do that. No, I'm pretty much done.
Alright. So now we're up to the eels again, and there's still one that remains having not done anything to anyone.
Is there one attached to me? Because if there is, I haven't taken damage for it, and I probably should have.
Well, you took damage when it bit you, but then your turn hasn't come around again for it to deal damage again, because from here on, as long as it's attached, it's ongoing.
I see.
But it's kind of special ongoing. Matt,
Yes.
heads or tails?
Heads.
All right. It comes after you instead of Raghnar.
No.
26 against armor class.
Bastard.
Think
Yes,
that's a
mate.
hit.
Yep.
Take another 18.
Okay.
Kenthis. You feel the worm chewing on you, and you're within arm's reach for the hag.
Can I kill the worm and it won't do the ongoing before my turn?
Well, the only thing to do is to try. How are you going to kill it?
Oh no, I mean like if I kill it before the end of my turn, I won't take the ongoing.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. I shouldn't be confident that I'll ever do any damage to anything. Let's do. Oh wow. All right, I'm gonna do chaos pulse.
You're just going to shoot it off your leg?
Oh, absolutely. There's no way it can go wrong. You think it's a bad idea? Crap. Am I losing connection? Nope. All right, we're good. All right, so I'm gonna do chaos pulse, and that is first the physical defense.
Mm-hmm.
That comes out. Oh, shoot. Okay, so that's a 14.
14?
Yeah,
14 to hit or 14 damage?
to hit.
All right. 14 is going to miss.
Alright, so a miss will do.
So I'm curious. How is it that you miss something that's attached to you?
Oh, I didn't want to hit my leg, you know. I was aiming high.
Are you just going to take a tip off the end?
Yeah, you gotta be careful. But my miss damage is. Oh, I do half damage. Okay, that's not so bad. 7d10. That could actually work.
So Kenthis tries to use his Chaos Bolt to just singe the asshole closed on the tip of this thing so it dies from...
Alright. 24 damage.
dead.
Yes, alright, yeah. Kenthis coming out on top.
Alright.
Imagine me blowing off one end of it and it just sort of deflates, sort of pumping my blood out like a hose. Make it 10 times worse.
Alright. So, anything else? You're just attacking it and it's done?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So then we're up to Vendelm. Vendelm,
Is the escalation
another one on you.
Is the escalation die at 1?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I did forget to say. Escalation die is at 1, and it's going to be at 2 after Vendelm's round.
Yay!
This is a good thing, I think. Oh, that's counterattack once.
What's up to, Matt?
I'm up to missing completely. Glad I do miss damage with this ability because I rolled a fucking 3. Woohoo!
So how are you attacking? Is it bow and arrow attack, or?
No, this is this spell again.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of spec'd for versatility. I'm better off with spells than my bow because it will do miss damage. So it's going to do half damage, so 5d10. Divided by 2.
So only 5 points?
Hold on. No, 5d10 divided by 2.
Oh. So 30 points.
No, 38 points.
Well. A man can dream. And dog, how does dog do?
So, yeah. So I did 19 points of damage with my miss. And then dog is, again, attacking the healthy maggot. And dog rolled well. Dog is going to have a 23 versus AC.
That's a hit.
Okay. And he will do 66. And he will do 20 to the maggot thing.
It's not dead yet.
No! Okay.
You needed
How much
23.
health it has. I did 24, you did 20. Somewhere in there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take damage.
Can we do the host thing? Or, like,
Yep, so that's 18 as it guzzles some of your blood down.
I'm starting to look a little green around the gills.
Anything else, or is that the end of you? I mean, your turn.
That's the end of my turn. Not the end of me. Yeah.
Alright, so escalation die is now up to 2. So you add +2 to all your attack rolls. Ragnar, back at the top.
Okay.
Feeling better for your healing?
Yes. So I'm just going to make a straight up attack.
Okay.
Let's see. Nat fucking 20. I love this dice. It's so nice.
That's why you use this dice for this game.
Well, actually, no. I have 6 different dice out, and I use different ones every game. But this one today has been rolling gangbusters, so I can't complain.
Mhm.
All right, so that's a natural even to hit. So I will deadly assault. No reason not to. Which is good because I rolled a shitload of 2s. And they became a lot better. So that's 21, 31, 39, 44, 59. So that's 118 fire and holy damage.
118 fire and holy?
Yes.
Holy fire!
She screams.
As she should. Tit for tat, bitch.
It is an unholy thing. Okay. That one of the new ones? Looks good. Alright.
And I don't think I can do anything else. In fact, I'm pretty sure I can't. No, I'm done.
Okay. As she screams, more of the maggoty things boil out of the landscape. Let's see. Matt's already got one on him. So we'll just roll to see who the oddball goes to. And it goes to Matt.
Your dice hate me.
Well, I'm putting them in increments of 3, so I figure 1 each, but you've got one, so I'll give it a chance to go somewhere else. And yeah, my dice hate you. So, crit against Raghnar. That seems to be a theme.
Apparently.
A 2 against Kenthis. And 23 against the armor class for Vendelm there. Vendelm.
Yep.
Alright. So that's 18 points on a hit or 36 for the crit. Anybody who's hit, it detaches and becomes ongoing damage on your turn. And then
I'm going to use my racial power. I'm going to use Is That Your Best Shot?
okay.
So I get to. So first I take 36 damage, which brings me to 48, and then I get to spend a recovery.
Okay.
And
At
since
40,
the escalation die, since the escalation dies at 2, I get all the healing.
at 48, you realize that she possesses a fear aura. Her horrific appearance. You can't stand to look at her at all.
Which is, well, I guess that's a good thing that I'm immediately healing back up then.
And as you heal, you feel that sucking feeling, and the water around her glows again.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just crit the fuck out of her again. 10,
Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing because she's staggered.
30. Alright, so yeah, now I'm back up to 78.
All right. And she's back up to 143.
That's only another couple hits.
Yeah, you guys are making better work of her than I thought. Kenthis, your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna do. Echoing Thunder on her. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna do Chaos on her. That is at will. And versus physical defense. You guys still hear me, by the way, when I'm not in the sound?
I can hear you right now. That's fine.
Alright, good. Yeah. Okay, 19 versus her physical defense.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
No. Her physical defense is 22.
Oh. Alright. Not so good. Because I rolled a 9, I only do 6 damage. Or no, actually I do 10 damage. I have a feat. But, yeah, 10 damage.
Okay. She's down to 133. All right. And at the end of your turn, you're not currently bitten. You just have it, like, hanging off of you because even death didn't release the grip of the worm.
If I collect enough, will they count as armor?
Hmm?
If I collect enough, will they count as armor?
I don't know. Give it a try.
Alright, by the way, just for the sake of roleplay, Fergus is smelling something very familiar going on, and he's gonna run.
Fergus is what?
He's running.
Or
He-
swimming.
He knows what happens around giant ladies.
Yes, that is true. He doesn't want a repeat performance. Okay. So now the drowned lady goes. She has a surge of reinvigorating life force. You notice that now that Ragnar's done this twice, every time somebody spends or loses a recovery, she seems to draw life from the swamp. The ability, I'm calling it a circle of life. She doesn't prevent you guys from healing or reduce what you heal. She just happens to heal when you do.
Ugh. That's an evil ability.
Yeah, well, if you can knock her down fast enough, it doesn't make a difference.
Right.
And I didn't, and my problem is I didn't scale it down, even though I scaled down her hit points because we had fewer people. So it's actually more potent now than it would be if she was at full strength.
Damn. Okay.
All right. Oh, we are at 2, right?
Yeah, we're currently at 2.
Yeah, we flip over on you. Okay. So, Kenthis still hasn't made any move to get out of her reach, so she's going to swing at the two of you again, since you're the only two that are engaged. Kenthis, high or low?
Hi.
High, you said?
Yep.
Okay, so that is going to be 24 against armor class.
Okay, that's a hit.
Take 35,
Mhm.
and 17 against Ragnar's armor class is a miss.
Right.
Vendelm,
Okay.
you've got a worm
So,
hanging on for life, and one hanging
Yep.
on for death.
yeah, I'm gonna let Dog handle the maggots. I'm going to zap her again. And thanks to Lethal Hunter, it's a crit on 5d10. Yeah. What's the crit modifier? Times 2?
Yep.
46 damage.
4d6 damage?
46. Yep.
Or 46.
46.
Got it. So-
406.
Alright, down to 87. And because my mouse wasn't in the right place, I almost ejected Aaron from the game. That's not nice.
Ah.
You just
All
don't
right.
want me critting again.
And the dog rolled a 22 against armor class
That's
on the already hurt worm.
Yep. I think it's a safe bet that he takes those last 3 hit points from it.
Oh yeah, the minimum damage I could roll is 6.
Alright, so his teeth sink in, and he does that dog thing where he's like, "Arr." And he's dragging your leg around as he worries at the worm. It's almost like you're doing a dance, and it's almost like you accidentally crit her because you were being jerked around by your dog.
Nice.
All right, end of the
All right.
round. We are up to +3 on the escalation die, and Ragnar is going to try and finish this out.
I'm going to try. We'll see if it actually happens. Alright, so I'm attacking the hag. 22 versus AC?
20?
22.
22 misses.
Sorry, 23. Alright, so it's almost. I'm going to use comeback strike, which means I get to make another attack.
Go right ahead.
And this one is a 28.
All right. But you take a damage penalty on comeback strike, right?
No, I don't. I don't believe.
Oh.
Let me see. Where am I? I've got the
I think
feat,
you do
so
like
I don't
half
think
damage.
I do.
Oh,
Comeback strike. No, not on combat strike. You're thinking of another power that I have.
All right. That's what I get for reading your character sheets.
Hero's skill is the one you're thinking about.
Got it.
That would also apply.
All right.
Either way, 15 is a natural odd hit, which I'm pretty sure means all I can do is carve an opening. And yes, that's correct. So, so my crit range is now 18. And the damage is... 42 fire and holy.
All right. She's bleeding from several wounds.
As she should.
She's definitely worse for wear, sir. You got bitten before, though, right?
Yep.
So you take 18 from worm.
Yep. And it's 60.
We still have one floating around. And he's attacking Kenthis.
Mm-hmm.
And misses.
Alright.
15 against your AC is not going to go.
Yep. My AC is 22, apparently.
Kenthis, you're up.
Alright.
Don't trip over the worm.
Remind me how... So I can take an action to use one of my recovery dice, right? Or one of my recovery...
Yeah.
It's rally. It's a standard action. You roll your recoveries like usual.
All right, and we've established that you will benefit from that as well.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I have 37 health. It's your guys' call. What do you think? Should I do it?
If you think we can finish her off this round between me and you, I say no. But if you don't think we can finish her off this round, take the deal.
She's got 45 hit points
how
left.
much-
Relies on me dealing damage is a bad one. So let's not do that. I'm gonna do my recovery though.
Kenthis has a history with combat. It's not very good.
No, it has a history with rolling. In general, it's not very good.
Yeah.
All right, I healed 25.
All right. Once again, her wounds start closing up.
What is
And
she up to?
there's some wet gurgling noise coming from her throat as if she were chuckling or laughing. She remembers mirth, progress in the negotiations.
Yay!
If we could, murder her face, I would really appreciate that.
Well, I'm trying.
So the Kenthis tries to desperately pull himself together to stay in the fight, but it only emboldens her to further fight on. So, all right, Ragnar, high or low?
I'll take high.
All right,
I regret
that's
it, but I'll take it.
26 against your AC.
Now
Just
That's
to clarify, you're saying high or low. Are you actually offering us the option of the high or the low thing, or is it just like a random randomized?
I'm actually rolling both dice, but because I'm standing and I don't have a standing desk, I have very small space here. So normally I would just go from left to right and matching dice to faces on my screen. But with such a small space, I figure it's probably, and there's only two of you, I could say high or low and give you guys a tactical choice of saying, okay, I'll take the higher hit, not knowing whether that's going to hit yourself or not.
Okay. See, I accidentally made the altruistic choice then. I thought it was just random. I was just...
Either way, 26 hits.
All right, and that's 35 to you as the claws bite deep, and then the other one's going to be a total of 16 against armor class. So Kenthis manages to keep his good health.
So I'm getting the crap kicked out of me for you guys. I would appreciate you if you killed her.
How about a friendly pat on the back instead?
Because I'm gonna die next turn.
Unless
If
he
you-
heals.
I can...
Yes, but I have a penalty to rally. So there's no guarantee I can do that.
Ooh.
So
All right.
yes, kill her face.
Vendelm. Remember, you guys have +3 to hit now.
Yep, let me do my die roller here. I'm going to attempt to kill her face.
Well, you can't make it any worse.
Okay. Okay, so once again, I use my Chaos Pulse. So that's 24 against physical defense.
Hit?
That's a hit? Okay.
Yep.
Let me roll my 5d10. Uh, 25 damage. Rolled low on damage, regrettably.
All right. Is there anything else? Do you have an eel on you right now or not? No, they're both dead now, right?
No, they are not. One is dead. The other is very much alive.
I thought the dog took the last 3 points off of it last round.
I've been hit by a total of 3.
Okay, then I mistook.
Yep.
Go, dog, go. Your favorite chew toy.
Yep, my favorite chew toy, Monster Magnet. So the dog gets a crit.
Okay.
Will likely kill this thing.
You need 23. And in the interest of time, I would just say that he gets it on a crit. It's a minion.
Oh, I rolled a 24 double. Uh,
Just barely. All right.
barely.
We are now up to 4 on the escalation die. Let me actually get myself focused here before I show that. And then that means we're up to the beginning of the order again with Raghnar, who is on his last leg.
It's gonna be close. If I can kill her, it'll be faster.
If you
Other
want,
other than that, I'm probably going down this turn.
you should probably heal because now that
I no, because it's just gonna make her heal. I'm gonna take more damage. Killing her is priority over trying to heal.
all right, I have gather power instant now because of the feat and the escalation die.
I'm gonna get hit before then.
Oh, okay.
Either way, I roll a 30 actually on the attack roll.
You
Not
hit,
that it really matters.
and Kenthis does go before she does.
Alright, well, either way. That's a natural even hit. Anything else I can do
Besides hit things?
besides deadly assaults? No, you miss. Oh, no, I can't do that because that's against a different target. Alright. Anyway. Damage, deadly assault. That's a lot of fucking twos again. That's better. 18, 22, 29, 30, 35. 47 damage. Yeah, 47.
She is down to 23.
Alright. And then I will take my 18 from the worm, and I am down to 6.
All right. Does that make it my turn?
Yes.
All right, I can do this, guys. Escalation die is 4, and I have the champion feat for gather power, so I can gather it as a quick action, which first gives me the random chaotic effect. And I got 6, which means I deal 10 damage instantly, just as my gather power effect.
Down to 13.
Okay, and then I will cast just for the sake of um, drama. I will cast Echoing Thunder, and that is versus her physical
I
defense.
think doubling your minimum damage is going to be enough to take her out, so why don't you just describe with dramatic effect how it is that she goes down?
Alright, let's do some shooting lightning and as named in the spell, Echoing Thunder. Some Echoing Thunder, and just toast her right there in the water. Lots of steam, I'm thinking, because it's getting the swamp.
A lot of steam, a lot of jerking around.
Yeah,
Ripples on the water.
exactly, you guys.
Some stones that were on top of each other start sliding off into the bit. Just the whole place shakes. Alright. And with all the many cuts and burns and all the wounds that had been closed up during your healing earlier, all spontaneously reopen because they weren't healed naturally. And her body pretty much just falls apart between the strikes, the shaking, and the pulsing thunder. Her body just rips apart and floats and collapses in shreds, and her blood filters out into the water. And some about 20 or 30 feet behind her, you see a illumination that begins from underneath the water. It's just kind of like a ghostly glow from beneath.
That would be Fane, probably. Well, who wants to touch it?
Well, first, for Matt's sake, somebody should probably recount what happened when just briefly how this went down when what's his name interacted with the Mountain Fane. Not Heinrich, Ember.
Ember, yeah.
Remember the exact details, but I think he took it from the. He sort of redirected it across the ley lines. And well, I forget what the effect was, but it had a negative effect as well as a positive effect to Mountain Fane.
Well, it had a quirk, and the quirk
Yeah.
is potentially negative if it becomes dominant.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't remember what the exact quirk was, but yeah, but it accounted as basically 2 magic items for purposes of determining whether your chakras are overloaded.
But for that, you got a +2 to one of your defenses and resist 16 to your choice of 3 different resistances.
So knowing what's coming, I think Ragnar would step up for this.
All right, and also Vendelm
Okay.
doesn't actually know what this is, so Ragnar's the only one that can make an informed decision between the 3 of you. Well, between the 2 of you who are in the know.
Yeah. Yeah, I only have 1 magic item.
Okay. So Ragnar wades over, and he gets right in the middle of the light. And as he approaches, the water starts to swirl around where it is. It never really develops into like a whirlpool. No, actually, more cool, it does develop into a whirlpool, but it's not the sort of thing that sucks him down. It's more like it draws the water away from the only pristine part of the floor that's managed to remain intact through magical means all this time. And when he steps into the ritual circle that's inscribed onto this floor, the light flares up until he disappears inside this column of light. And Kenthis, because all of your magic is derived from, or is originally derived from ley lines, you could feel the pulsing of the land's energy in a line that goes what to your senses would be in the direction of the castle. But because you're not in the center of it, you're not sensing that taint that kind of reaches out from the castle and is starting to work its way through the land. All right, Ragnar, you get for Swamp +2 to your physical defense. And you get resistance to one of the following: acid, fire, or holy.
I'll take fire. And what's the resist?
16.
That's right, there is a 60 plus.
So
and it still counts as 2 magic items, right?
yes. So before I wrote up quirks for this stuff, but the quirk I was still new at the time, and this didn't exactly isn't how it's supposed to work. What I had written was your skin is cold and clammy, disease, decay, and rot works faster around you.
Yeah, that's not really a quirk.
Right. Oh, wait a second. Before, yeah, no, we'll do this first. Yeah, but I'd kind of like to keep that feel as something that maybe could be role played with the disease, decay, and rot as kind of like a curse. But not really a curse, but rather just because that's what a swamp is all about.
Let's see. Let's figure out how. What could I do that's representative of a swamp? What sort of action would I do every once in a while as a quirk that would kind of bring to mind a swamp? Because that's kind of what a quirk usually is. It's something that your character does when they're overwhelmed by the magic. So maybe something to do with with showering, perhaps. Maybe the quirk is that I don't shower or bathe, and maybe I like to avoid running water because that's kind of the antithesis of a swamp. That I don't like being in running water, which it honestly would, I think, count the shower too. So maybe it gets a little smelly and dirty too, more often.
That would work for me. What do you guys think?
I like that. If you have a sort of phobia of rivers.
Yeah, just moving. So even like things like streams or creeks, he would be one of those people that goes, the water's up to his ankle, but he's jumping on the rocks to keep out of the actual moving water. He won't take a shower, but he'll take a bath because it's moving, it's still.
And that could also possibly give you trouble with rainfall too. In an extreme case.
He would be uncomfortable with rainfall. The thing with the quirk is that until it takes over, it doesn't really...
Yeah, it's a voluntary thing.
Yeah, it's a voluntary thing. When it takes over, then it becomes a genuine problem. But yeah, up till that point, I think it would be okay. So I will put in aversion to running water or moving water.
Okay. So you have a gorged worm on you that's still gulping down your blood as fast as it can. In fact, it's still drinking so much that it's actively leaking out the other end a small trickle of waste.
I basically pass out because I don't have enough hit points for it, so I have to wait for everybody to
All right. Well, that means somebody's got to treat you.
Yeah.
And
well, technically not. But still.
Kenthis or Velmar, how are you going to deal with this? Or are you going to sick the dog on it?
What exactly is it? It's a trickling.
Yeah. So it's one of those white fat worms that came out.
Oh, okay.
And with the hook mouths, and once it latches on, it just starts guzzling blood as quickly as it could suck it out of the system, which was the ongoing damage every round.
All right. Since I gathered power, has that gone away now? Right.
Well, yeah, because you used that on the spell that you killed the hag with.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Had to check.
But since Ragnar is just lying there, passed out from his ordeal.
Oh right. I can see. I don't know.
You could just say I zap it, or you could just say I cut it off with my knife, or.
Oh well, then I do that. I pull out my carving knife and just off.
All right. Well, you realize quickly that you can't cut it out of his leg. You could try and do surgery, sort of, to remove it because the hooks bury themselves deep, but that involves cutting him multiple places. Removing the worm requires a quick rest and a normal check, so DC 20.
Let's say we push the boundaries of medicine and just do it right here.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. It's a terrible idea. I mean, is it doing anything?
Yeah, it's drinking blood.
Oh, I thought it was dead.
Well, are you killing it or are you trying to remove it? Because after this, Vendelm has 3 of them attached to him still.
Alright, so can I kill the one attached to Ragnar first?
Yes, absolutely. No problem. Done.
Well, are there any dry places in this temple? Sheltered?
You can get up on top of one of the large flagstones that were used as the floor. I mean, there's enough places that you could find spots here and there.
Alright, let's drag Ragnar's body onto a flat, dry area.
Mm-hmm.
And,
well, dry is another thing, but you can get above the water.
Okay. You said it was a difficulty of 20?
Yep.
Okay. And if I attempt that check, it will Would survivalist background apply to that?
I would think so. I mean, you would remove leeches and barbs and do some simple stuff.
Alright, that would be... And that's probably intelligence, right? Or wisdom.
You could do it as intelligence. Wisdom is usually a healing stat, but intelligence would also work because I'm thinking like a doctor. Somebody's really thinking about what they're doing.
I think it's the same bonus anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
Alright. Ragnar, it's your call. I mean, I won't do it if you don't want me to. I'll have a plus 12 bonus to removing the worm.
But he had to step away for a moment, so he's literally leaving his fate in your hands. Of course, this could also be a time for Vendelm to shine if he's got some idea of how best to go about this, particularly since he's got to do the procedure 3 times on himself.
Well, I think it's a very rangery thing to do. To know that now that the worm is dead, you bisect it to make it easier to pull the hooks out. So I'm basically slowly vivisecting each worm. I was going
Okay.
to ask if I could do that to give myself a bonus, because, like, my backgrounds, I mean, rangery strikes me as being useful for this, but my background, except for maybe the observe and extrapolate.
I'm pretty loose on this. So you're using reasoning to you're trying to like dismantle the jaw so it doesn't have the strength to pull on the hooks. You know, that sort of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're using your ranger knowledge of how to dismember things and dress things to try and take this apart, make this an easier check. But you'll notice you will succeed. There's really no reason to roll on this one because it's right up your alley, and it would indeed just make this like a no-brainer. The problem is, as soon as you start cutting around the head, it has the same effect as if you cut the head off the body, which is that it just has this empty gullet where your blood starts shooting out until you can get the head entirely removed. So you do lose 1 recovery in the process,
Okay.
and if you wish to repeat that process, you can improve it enough that you only lose 1 additional recovery for the other 2 heads.
I can hack the insides. Moss or something.
Yeah, something like that would occur to you, and it would staunch the blood flow enough that you would not have that issue. By the time you're done, you only lose 2 recoveries for the 3 worms.
Okay.
And if you roll a 10 or better on a die, you'll even get it off Raghnar without him losing anything more.
$17.
You got it. This was actually a note that I made on there called bleeding out. So if somebody decided to use an edge weapon just to cut to kill the eel while they're fighting, it would automatically decapitate it and they would be bleeding out like that in the middle of the fight.
Oh.
That's a good thing I didn't try to kill mine that way then.
I kept waiting.
I was never gonna do it though.
I deliberately designed this as a very simple, straight-up fight because the hook was in the worms and not in the main monster.
Yeah. Well, also that thing would be regenerating every time we heal. That
Yeah.
was nasty.
Yeah, I would have to tone that down for a small group because that was
Yeah.
50 points every time, and it probably should have been more like 30 because it was a small group.
That's arguably way too much.
30?
Because what level is this character?
8.
So something more like 15 to 20 every time is more in line with recommended healing because it's twice, maybe as much as 25, 2 to 3 times the level is the
And keep in mind, if it rolls well, I mean, it could make 3 of us use healing bursts at the same time.
Yeah, well, that's why I dropped the damage, so it wouldn't be as likely. But then that's where the worms kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
one of those things where I had a good idea, but the only place that I actually get to try any of this stuff out is against you guys online. And I'm always doing something different, so sometimes the previous things that I've done don't always apply.
Yep.
So I've still got a worm on me. And so Matthew's method of removing it, that destroys it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
He
looking
just...
at
Go ahead.
things, are they like a bag almost?
Huh?
I'll make something fancy out of these.
Oh. Well, their skin is thick and rubbery, so it's possible that maybe it could be preserved in some way to make a fashionable nightcap, or a bag or something that you could use. Leggings.
I would like to preserve the body, so I'm gonna do field surgery on myself. You said it was difficulty 20?
Yep.
Alright. I'm confident. I got plus 12. Now watch me roll a 1. Alright, I rolled a 14. We're good.
That's almost as good as when you whittle a likeness.
Yeah.
Your best roll yet.
Alright, so I've got a perfectly preserved worm body.
Nice.
Okay. So this is all right. Have a good night, Matt. We're only going to be in like 5 minutes here on air anyway, so
All right.
just wanted to recap. You guys finished a big boss thing. It didn't have to be such a big fight, but it just drug on because of me, and I'm sorry. But when we return in 2 weeks, hopefully, we have you're going to be going back to town, possibly.
Probably.
Tales to tell. And then figure out your next move from there. But if you guys want to follow up in an email, just let me know. And hopefully we'll be back on a regular schedule.
Pierce should be back in time next time, or is he missing 2 sessions?
I think he's going for one more, but I'll drop an email and we'll see.
Okay.
All right. Thanks all. Have a good night.
Take care.
All right. See you later.